Today we're going to be having a look at collecting like terms and simplifying expressions. So it's a grade D, grade C kind of question, and it become useful for your GCSE maths. So if I said to you, what do you think x plus x plus x would give us? Well, if we think about this, we've actually got one x here, we're adding on a second x, and we're adding on a third x. So how many x's do we have in total? Well, we've therefore got 3 x's, haven't we? What about if I said, what do you think x plus y would be? Now in this case we've got an x again, we're adding on a second x, but this time we're adding on a y at the end. Now the key to this is that we can't combine letters that are different to one another. So in this case the x's and the y's can't be joined together to make it simpler. The x's can still be combined together, but the y's can't be combined with the x's. So in this case what would we have? Well, we've got the x here, we're adding on another x here. So in total we have 2 x's. And how many y's do we have? We've just got 1 y. So we're going to add 1 y to that. Okay, let me just quickly introduce a method to you then that will probably help you out here, which will probably make it a little bit more simpler than trying to visualise it like this. If I asked you to try and simplify x plus y plus x plus y, okay? Now the method that I like to introduce is by circling and squaring off different terms. So x's and y's, circling them to separate them so it's a little bit easier to visualise and try and simplify. So how do we go about doing that? Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to circle all the x's to start off with. So in this case I'm going to circle my x here, and then I'm going to circle my x here, including the sign in front. So the sign in front is important, you'll see why in a second. Now I'm going to put a square around my y's. So I've got a square around my y, including the sign in front, and I've got a square around my y, including the sign in front. So now I'm going to simplify my x's. Now looking at this, I can see that my x's are the ones that are circled, and I have one just here, and I have one here. So in total I have 1x, add another x, so I have 2 x's. And regards to the y, I have 1 y here, and I'm adding on a second y. So in total I have 2 y's. So I have plus another 2 y's. So that's looking at maybe a little bit more of a difficult question. What about then if I said 2x add 4y minus 3x add 7y? Okay, now we're going to use the exact same method that we've just done above. We're going to circle and square our x's and y's to start off with. So I'm going to put a circle around my 2x here, and I'm going to put a circle around my minus 3x here, including the sign in front, remember. And then I'm going to put a square around my y's. So I'm going to put a square around my 4y, including the sign in front, and I'm going to put a square around my 7y, including the sign in front. So let's have a look at the y's to start with this time, and you'll see why in a second. Now we've got 4 y's this time, and we're adding on 7 y's. So 4y add 7y, or 4 add 7, we've now got 11 y's in total. So we have 11 y's. Now with regards to the x's, we have 2x, and we have a minus 3x. So 2x minus 3x's, well that leaves us with minus 1x, doesn't it? So we've got to be confident with our positive and negative numbers here. But 2x, take away 3x, would leave us with minus 1x. Or in this case, just minus an x.